This man's name is Sickles, former congressman from New York. He will put on a uniform, raise a brigade, move up to division. He's now commanding 1/7 of the Union Army. He's got the 3rd Corps. Essentially, the orders he received in the morning from his boss, General Meade, are, you look at the Pennsylvania Memorial, the Union line ended at the beginning of day 2, about 100 yards this side of the Pennsylvania Memorial. So there's nobody from there to this high ground on the left flank of the Union Army. So General Sickles is told, your men are hanging out in those woods. Half of them arrive at the end of the first day, too late to fight. The other half come up the Gettysburg Road, make a right turn, come down that road, and congregate in those woods. And they are told to extend the line from Pennsylvania to here. So you would have 10,000 Yankees facing that way with their artillery, some of it on this high ground, anticipating an attack from that ridge, which is going to happen. But he doesn't like his orders. I'm summarizing a lot. And he will advance 10,000 men to Devil's Den, Wheatfield, Peach Orchard, and along the road. Here's what it looks like in a diagram. First, this is what both commanders wanted. We're here, the water tower's here. The blue is the Yankee fishhook. Can you all see that? You now see that the Confederate line is basically a bigger fishhook around the smaller Yankee fishhook. This is Seminary Ridge. The right about here is the Lutheran Theological Seminary. So, this is Longstreet's men straight across from you. This is what General Sickles actually did. We're here, water tower's here. You see that inverted V or arrowhead? So this left flank is the Devil's Den. Up here is Wheatfield, and where the V comes together is the Peach Orchard. And the other half is along the road. Usually we have at least one car moving quickly. There's one, thank you very much. See that? That's the Emmitsburg Road. We just drove down that, made a right turn. And there, the Union line ends about 100 yards this side of the barn. Well, all he's done wrong is break the Union line here. And each of these flanks they're in the air, as they would say in military speak. You need to put the flank of your unit, whether it's a platoon of 100 men or an army of 90,000, you want them flanked by high ground, or a marsh, or a river, or a gorge, or other troops, so the other enemy cannot get to your flank and roll you up. Sickles has left this undefended. At 3:30, Longstreet's finally getting in those woods, and the staff officer on General Meade's side of the field basically tells his boss, sir, you need to get down here and look at the left flank, because we don't think Sickles is where you want him to be, sir. Up that road goes General Meade, and ladies in polite company will just say he's going to have a discussion with his subordinates, as only soldiers can, in the Peach Orchard at the 3:30 to 4 o'clock hour. And Sickles is finally getting the message that he goofed up. You want me to move them back, sir? The enemy will not let you, General. So the second thing General Meade does after chewing him out, realizing that position cannot hold, he says, I'm going to start sending you reinforcements, General. And this is very important for what I want to tell you here. So all of a sudden, 5th Corps troops are going up that road to reinforce the 3rd Corps, which is too far spread out. The third thing the Union Army commander does is send that man, the statue. That's General Warren, the chief engineer of the Union Army, and he has what you have in his right hand, binoculars. Yes, sir. Got him right there. You imagine him getting up here about 3:30, quarter to 4, with his experienced eye. He's got a captain and 2 lieutenants, and there are about 8 or 10 Yankee signalmen up here wigwagging away. There's not a single musket up here, and thousands of Longstreet's men are ready to come out of those woods. And they don't need to be told how important this high ground is. Can't text, can he? So, marching up the road is a small brigade of Michigan. See it halfway up the hill? That little tombstone is a Michigan regimental. God bless New York. They are with their castle again. 44th New York, and I showed you Pennsylvania and Maine. These 4 regiments, which forms a brigade, are commanded by a man named Strong Vincent. Strong Vincent is marching up the road as he was ordered to do. Up the road. He sees the messenger coming down the hill from the general. Where are you going, Captain? Well, Colonel, I have to find your boss. What are the orders? General Warren needs a brigade on this hill now. Literally takes the message out of this captain's hands and turns around these 4 little regiments who are placed in those positions essentially 10 minutes after the rebels take Big Round Top, force Union sharpshooters off, realize they can't use it, that's why I asked you the question, and then they start attacking Little Round Top, because this is still high ground. The end of the line is the 20th Maine. Chamberlain is a professor from Bowdoin College, Maine. The man was a divinity student at one point. He is literally reading about tactics at night and drilling during the day. He has been in the war about a year, but he has never commanded the 20th Maine in combat till today. Because the other guy was promoted out and he was promoted up. He felt it was his duty to report to his governor and offer his services. The college didn't want him to leave. He said, I'll take a leave of absence. Several years later, 6 wounds later, and the Medal of Honor later, he'll go back there. He'll receive the Medal of Honor in 1895 for what we're talking about. He'll receive the first of 6 wounds he'll receive before this war is over on this day. Front rank, rear rank, that's how you fight. The Alabama boys are attacking 4 or 5 times. He's losing men, but Vincent told him, you have to cover this ground. You cannot give up this ground, Colonel. You're the left flank of the whole Union Army. It's worth more than your life and the life of every one of your men. Lose them before you lose this hill. That's what the military means when they say you must hold at all costs or at all hazards. Chamberlain well understands that because he's a professor of rhetoric too. So he's losing men, can't allow the Confederates the advantage, so he spreads out in a single line that looks like he's still got the same ground covered. They don't know that aren't too deep. He starts to lose more men. Gaps are created. He can't allow the gaps. They'll get in and roll him up. So he makes a single line. He places the colors literally within a yard or 2 or 3 of where you saw the monument. And in military speak, I have just refused the flank. In English, I just made a right angle. Because now the rebels have to spread out further to get to my flank and roll me up, and I'm using the high ground to shoot down on you. This professor's figuring this all out like that. Classic military maneuvers. Runs out of bullets. Everybody knows what a bayonet is. They fix bayonets, they swing the door, and they attack down the hill with empty weapons as Alabama's getting ready to come up one more time. Alabama will break, Maine will hold. But now Texas and Alabama are attacking here, and they're flanking Michigan on this side. And that guy, the 16th Michigan commander, is no Chamberlain. He starts to withdraw without authority. And Strong Vincent is standing on a rock trying to tell him, you can't move, you need to stay, and he'll be shot in the lower abdomen and take 2 or 3 days to die a very painful death. By now, Chamberlain will be hit in the scabbard of the sword. You see that in the movie. He's badly bruised, but what they don't show you is that he's moving around and standing on a rock, and a bullet hits the rock and rips into his instep, rips the leather of the boot, and his boot is filling up with his own blood. But he continues to lead the men. That's where he gets the wound. If you're General Warren, you see the smoke and you hear the noise, it's probably precarious, you don't want to take a chance, so you get on the horse yourself. And you ride down, thank you very much, where the car is moving quickly, the white one. And obviously a local, because they're going faster than 25. And didn't turn here to see Little Round Top. Okay. But at that basic intersection, the general rides down and he'll see another brigade moving up the road as they were ordered to do, and the 1st Regiment he sees, commanded by Patrick O'Rourke. 27